Okay, let's get this party started. How do I do it? Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. This is spiritual life. Let's see, I don't know what I called it. Mindset training for the spiritual life coach. Session 3. Okay. And we're going to do copy and then paste. And we're going to just post it right there because that's the only place where it'll let me post. Uh-oh. Okay, I am live. Hi, it's Crystal Lynn, and I am here to talk to you about Badass Butterfly Spiritual Life Coach Mindset Training. This is our 3rd session, and the program just started earlier this week. It's not too late to join us. Now, here's what we're going to be doing today. I am going to be sharing my screen because I'm on Zoom and I can do that, but I need to have it open. So we're going to be talking about what we've got to do today, and I'm going to give you a little heads up about what will be coming next week. All right, so sorry, just waiting for my computer to unstick, unfreeze. Boom, let's do it. Here we go. All right. So today, sorry, someone's signing on, so let me get them checked in here. Let's see who's with us today. Monica's with us. All righty. So here we go. Hey, Monica, I know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and just tuck in with the training. It's nice that you've joined me today. Thank you so much. Oh, look at you. You're so beautiful in green. I love that color. I love that top. It's good to see you, darling. Oh, I need to remember also. Let's see. Hold on one second. All right. Here we go. So let me go ahead and get started with what we're going to be talking about this week. About today. And then I'm going to open it up and you and I can talk a bit there, Monica, when I'm done. Okay. So far this week, we have been talking about you and the caterpillar and the butterfly. And we have come to understand that basically, the caterpillar is a state of mind, okay? The caterpillar is a state of mind. It's a metaphor for us and the state of mind we have, okay? It's the same thing with the butterfly. It's a state of mind, okay? And it's important to understand that the caterpillar represents your current state of mind, not where you will always be. Because just like the butterfly, just like the caterpillar that transforms into the butterfly, you are going to evolve into your future self, your badass self. And eventually you're going to evolve into a butterfly and then become a life coach, right? Now, are you comfortable, boo-boo? So it's important to remember that right now you might be in a caterpillar state of mind, but your butterfly is inside you already, and it is mentally and energetically active and alive. So you have the ability to tune into her wisdom, and you can access what your inner butterfly knows, and you can use that information to improve your life and to help you achieve what it is you want to achieve. Okay. Now, the thing that we need to understand and kind of really hold ourselves accountable to is the desire to actually become our butterfly self. I don't care what you think you were put on earth to do. I believe that you are here to live out your greatest potential. I do. I think that your soul was like, I'm coming to this earth so that I can be, boom, magnificent. All right. Yes, the way we really get to magnificence is by walking through the muck, like a lotus flower, right? A lotus flower really needs a mucky kind of, well, marshy ground in order for it to rise through. And then when it comes through, it's this beautiful green pad and then this gorgeous lotus flower. Okay. Well, it's living its greatest potential. And that's what you are here to do. The transformation from caterpillar to butterfly, as we saw, is not a pretty, it's not a pretty experience, but it's a beautiful experience. It's not pretty in the way, you know, the caterpillar's body hardens and then its insides turn to goo. And then the butterfly has to break free from the shell of its old self. And then we end up with this beautiful thing. But I certainly do appreciate that journey from caterpillar to butterfly. All right. So what we have to do is understand that you have to go through that transformation. You have to shed your old skin, and then you have to let your old self die. You have to die to your old beliefs. You have to die to your old habits. You have to die to your old way of thinking. You have to die sometimes to the old relationships that aren't growing and coming along with you. We've all gone through that. We have to die to our old clothes. We have to die to all those things that no longer serve us. And then we have to go forward and create anew. Okay. So before we can go on that journey, we really need to kind of think about, well, what exactly is going to be dying and what needs to die? And what can I bring along on this journey into butterfly life? Like, what do I want my butterfly wings to look like, you know? And what baggage do I need to let go of? Because, you know, butterflies are insects of flight. They fly, and they cannot be carrying a suitcase or a trunk of your old issues. Okay. The point is that when you become a butterfly, you really do have to let go of your old stuff. And that's kind of like what it really means to be a badass butterfly, in my opinion. A badass butterfly is someone who has done the hard things. They've let go of the things that no longer serve them, and they don't pick those things up again. Okay. So today, for your home fun, okay, and this is in your workbook. This is the third part of this week's workbook. So what we're going to do is a personal self-assessment that is basically, like, at its core, this assessment is meant to help you understand what you need to have in place as a badass butterfly spiritual life coach. Okay. It just so happens that a badass butterfly spiritual life coach and a badass butterfly are the same things, except one is a life coach and one is just doing whatever they want. Like, the badass butterfly is at the core, right? At the center. And if you're in this program, it's probably because you want to be a spiritual life coach. So that's why I tack that on there. But the things are still the same. The only difference is you have a business or you don't. Maybe you're an artist or you're a teacher, or maybe you're just a mom. Not just a mom. certainly not just a mom, but I mean, you're working with your children and not building a school for children, okay? So boom, that's what I wanted to just kind of differentiate. Now, in order to be a badass butterfly spiritual life coach, you need to be a spiritual, emotional, and material badass. Now you're like, what does all that mean? Spiritual, emotional, and material badass. Well, we're going to talk about that in great detail in the coming weeks. That's really important to understand because if you're going to be a life coach, you have to have those things. So I'm going to be going into that in detail. That's a part of our mindset training. But today, we need to kind of understand how much of a badass you already are or are not, okay? And it's really the not that we need to look at. So in other words, where are you already rocking badassery, okay? And where are you not rocking badassery? This is important because you're going to be a business owner, right? And in order to be a business owner, nobody is telling you what to do. You're telling everybody else what to do because you're the boss, okay? And if, and the most important person that you're going to be telling what to do is yourself. And if you don't understand yourself, and if you don't know your weaknesses and your strengths, then you are going to have a hard time managing your one employee, which is yourself. All right. So we're going to be doing this assessment to help you understand who you are as an employee, but also who you are as a leader. And actually, we're not actually going to be talking about this in business terms. The things that I'm going to be asking you to look at in the assessment are actually very much about on a personal level. But the fact of the matter is, when you go into business for yourself, you're dealing with you and your personal issues. And especially if you are a spiritual life coach, you are probably very, very feminine, which means that you are probably very much into your feeling nature. Maybe you are kind of in the clouds and you like to kind of dance your way through life as opposed to going directly, like I'm going from here to there. Maybe you kind of dance your way there and maybe you won't get there today. Maybe you're going to come over here and do this thing. Okay. I'm just saying that this is kind of the experience that a lot of spiritual life coaches have. Well, if that is your way of being, where you kind of dance through your life, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to learn how to manage that kind of energy as the self-employed boss of yourself who is relying on yourself not only to deliver high quality services to your clients, but also you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get paid to support yourself so that you can keep on dancing with some shoes on your feet and not be like straight up broke. Okay. So you are the leader of yourself, and you have to like make sure that you have some good, strong leadership skills in place. If you don't, then you need to get them because you're going to be working for yourself and you're going to want to quit your 9-to-5 job so that you can work for yourself. And well, you need to learn how to manage yourself. Okay. So in this session, we're going to be taking a deep dive into those qualities that you own, the great qualities that you own, and maybe some poor qualities that you also own. All right. Look, I'm going to be very honest with you and tell you straight up right now, the biggest challenge I had was not completing things and being inconsistent. Those are two huge challenges that set me back for years. And if I had realized that that's what I was fighting against those many years ago, it would have changed the course of my professional career. But no, I had to figure it out the hard way. And it took me years to realize that I was sabotaging myself because I didn't complete things and I was inconsistent. So that's why I created this assessment, so you could figure out what's going on with you and you can create a plan, or you can correct those things within yourself. All right. So we're going to be looking at what you own, what you possess emotionally, what your characteristics are. Okay. And the purpose of this exercise is meant to hold you accountable to some very high standards. So my job as your leader is to help you see where your standards might be a little bit low. Now, don't get confused. I don't want you to beat yourself up or to put yourself down just because you're not living up to these high standards that I'm going to be presenting. All right. These standards are standards that I have chosen. Okay. I think they're important. You are your own badass butterfly. Okay. You get to live up to the standards that you want to live up to. But my job is to kind of push you beyond and make you look beyond your comfort zone, and maybe even have you looking at things that you maybe have not even considered before. Okay, that's my job. But don't, like, I want this work to inspire you, and I want it to help you be I want it to help you improve your life. I don't want it to make you crawl into a hole and hide. Okay. So don't get confused, and don't try to be a perfectionist, like, oh, you have to do this. But let's just also be honest. Let's find the balance between being really honest, but also understanding that everything I am showing you is learnable. Okay. I want you to have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. I want you to be thinking about how you can learn more, and how you can learn these things that you don't know. All right. We'll talk about that more in the future too. Now, okay, let's see. All right. I think that's all I really have to say about that. Let's go ahead and, actually, hold on. I do have a little something that I want to say about setting big standards for yourself. Setting big standards and pushing out of your comfort zone. So I remember when I was young, I would uh, look at people who had really high standards, and then I would say, oh, I want to do that for myself. And I would say, okay, this is my standard. And then what I would do is fall off. Like, I'd do that standard for a day or two, and then I'd forget about it. And then I'd literally would forget about it. I'd be like, oh my God, I haven't done that thing that I promised myself that I would be doing, right? And I realized at a very young age that I have trouble following through with things, okay? But that doesn't mean that I should not try or have high standards in my vision. You should put high standards in your vision, and you can even make them your goal. But you do need to use the process of getting to those standards as a learning process, not as a perfecting process. So, as you all know from our work in the League of Badass Butterflies group, you know that my word for the year is impeccability. And as I told you before, I want to be impeccable, but you can't go from where I was 3 months ago to impeccability. Like 3 months ago, maybe I was, I wasn't maybe putting as much care into myself. Maybe I was still not following through with things. Maybe I wasn't, I don't know, maybe I was, not eating properly. Okay. You can't go from, let's say, now don't think I was really eating McDonald's. I haven't eaten McDonald's in about 1.5 years. So no, I wasn't eating McDonald's every day, but I'm just using this as an example. Let's say that you're eating McDonald's every single day. And then you wake up and you're like, you know what? I don't need to be doing McDonald's every day. I want to eat better. I want to really improve my life. Okay. I want to improve my health. I want to improve my skin. I want to take care of myself. Okay. You have the right to want that for yourself. And so let's say you set a really high standard and you say, you know what? I'm going to go to become a raw food vegan because to you, you did the research and that epitomizes the pinnacle of good, clean, healthy eating. All right. Now, today you're at McDonald's and you had breakfast there. Tonight, are you going to go home? No, first you got to go to Whole Foods. Okay. And then you got to get the salad stuff. And then you got to go chop up the salad stuff. Now, normally you just go to McDonald's for dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. And now you're like going to go home. You're going to go get the salad stuff and you're going to not put any cheese or any chicken in your salad. You're going to just go and create a vegetable salad and you're going to go home and eat that. You're not going to eat a Coke and you're not going to drink a Coke and you're not going to eat an apple pie. All right. You do that all the time, but now you're just going to go from I eat at McDonald's 3 days a week to I eat impeccably. No, nope. If you manage to pull off a good, healthy salad that night, number one, your stomach is going to be jacked up because when you go from eating McDonald's to all of a sudden eating a salad, your bowels, your stomach acids, your system goes into shock. And you might find yourself doubled over. You might find yourself with diarrhea or with constipation. And all of a sudden you're not drinking Coca-Cola, you're down in water and you're like, okay, what's happening with my system because I'm doubled over in pain. Okay, with gas, right? Oh my gosh. All of this is to say that you should set a high standard for yourself to go raw food vegan if that is what looks appealing to you, okay? And that is where you want to go. But don't think that you're going to just get there and it's all of a sudden going to come easy for you. Understand that to get from here to here is a learning process. And it requires that you have a growth mindset where today, maybe it's like, okay, I ate McDonald's today, but tomorrow I'm going to only do 2 McDonald's meals. And instead of trying to do a salad, maybe I'm going to try to eat some salmon and some mashed potatoes so I can kind of ease my way into all that fiber that I'm all of a sudden trying to dump into my system. Okay. I think you get my point. All right. So for the assessment, as you're looking at yourself and you are seeing the places where you are and where you want to go, I want you to understand that you are going to need time and energy and patience and maybe even a plan for you to achieve the thing that you want to achieve. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take you into the assessment and let's see. Here we go. That's not what I want to open. This is what I want to open. There we go. I thought I had it open. I do. This is it. Okay, very good. So I am going to share my screen. All right, here we go. This is the program online. All right, and you should recognize it by now. And we're here in session 3. And this is called Cracking the Caterpillar Mindset, the Badass Butterfly Spiritual Life Coach, Divine Life Purpose, Self assessment tool. All right, and if we open this up, you will find an introduction to this lesson that tells you basically what the assessment is about. All right. For your home fun, I have this video that I love. Okay, this video was so funny. Do you know this guy? I've forgotten what his name is. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. I think it's like JP or something. Anyway, he does all these videos online making fun of spiritual people, and I love them because I see myself. He makes fun of me, and I just love it when he makes fun of me. And this video just makes me laugh. It makes me roll. Like I had tears coming from my eyes with the stuff they were saying and the things they were doing. So I hope you enjoy this as a part of your home fun. Now, so just for laughs, please watch the How Spiritual People Fight video below, okay? And then in your workbook, complete the caterpillar to butterfly divine life purpose self-assessment, okay? It's nice, simple instructions for your homework or your home fun. Oh. And let's give this 1 second to open here. And if you'll recall, the workbook contains everything you need for this week. Next week, there is going to be another workbook, which you can download on Sunday, starting at midnight, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can start, your workbook will be ready for you to download, okay? So for this workbook, we're going to jump all the way down here to page 4, and we're going to do the caterpillar to butterfly divine life purpose self-assessment. All right. And this is just a story that will help you kind of understand a little bit more about what we're doing. And I want you to take your time and read through that. And, you know, I put this intentionally on the Thursday because our next meeting isn't until Monday. So this is a long assessment. Let's just be honest, okay? 30 pages and the assessment starts on page 4. So this is a long assessment. Your girl can't help herself. When she gets an idea in her head, she just has to follow it through to completion. These are all my thoughts, all right? This is a very thorough assessment, all right? So the first part is about reading, and then here's section 1, okay? And everything is really clearly spelled out for you, so don't worry, you're not going to be lost, but I'm just going to go over this in very general terms right now. Section 1 is food for thought, and these are just some questions for you to think about. And keep in mind that my specialty is shadow work, so I'm going to ask you to go into things that are not working so that we can deal with those things, all right? Boom, boom, boom. You can write your answers directly into the spaces here. All right. So this first section is just to get you thinking. All right. Then section 2 starts to talk about your daily practice. And I explain what the daily practice is. Okay. So go ahead. You can read the section here. You can read the instructions here. But the way this section works is I'm going to ask you some questions or a question, and then I'm going to have you write out what your thoughts are on this question here. And then I'm going to have you assign a number on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not important or 10 being vital. Okay, and then you're going to put the number over here in the points column. All right, so for example, this first question is, in your opinion, how important is a consistent daily practice to your lifestyle as a heart-centered entrepreneur? Okay, because you're basically a spiritual life coach. You are a heart-centered entrepreneur. How important is it that you actually have a consistent daily practice? Okay. And you might say here, well, I think a daily practice is a vital part of my lifestyle. How does that come up so quick? Time is flying by. Holy macaroni. All right, let me hurry up. I think that a daily practice is a vital part of my lifestyle, and it's how I connect to source energy. It's how I connect to source, and it's more important than anything, okay? And it says, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not important and 10 being vital, write that in the cell to the right, okay? Boom, I'm gonna put 10 here, and then here's my reason why, okay? Then you'll go down to the next question, all right? And what is the daily practice you do? You write it out, you put the scale of 1 to 10 there, okay? That is how this exercise is going to go on for the whole thing. This second section is about the daily practice, okay? And then at the end, you'll see that your totals get computed down here for you. It's my beloved assistant, Rebecca, that actually figured out how to do that. And so I'm snapping Rebecca right now because she is the best, all right? That she created this like this, because I had y'all adding it up on Google Docs. She created a PDF that's beautiful, and it even calculates for you. So that's really special. Anyway, so you do your questions and then you have your answers here, and you'll see that I created a scale for you already. So for example, if you only got 0 to 20 points, then this is showing a lack of a commitment to a consistent practice, okay? These are things for you to be thinking about, all right? If you wanna be a life coach, a spiritual life coach, and you don't emphasize the daily practice, to me, that says, how are you gonna call yourself a spiritual life coach, okay? I don't know, but it's something to think about. And this is also something that's gonna be important as you go forward with this program, because your spiritual practice is where all of your authority comes from as a life coach, all right? Next section are your tools, okay? And so in this section, we look at all the spiritual tools that we use on a regular basis. So meditating, yoga, praying, any other spiritual practices, right? So I have a place here for you to write in your points for this section. And then there's the scale. And then the third section is assessing your readiness in your body, emotions, mind, and spirit. This is really, really important, because how often have you gone forward with something like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, but your emotions weren't really on board, right? Or your mind wasn't on board, but you forced yourself to do something, and then your mind rebelled and was like, I ain't never doing that again. I'm never gonna do that. I'm gonna be fearful. I'm gonna give you all the negative emotions, right? Okay. To become a spiritual life coach, and even to become a badass butterfly, to just go through the cocoon, you need your whole being on board with this new change. This section is going to help you assess where you are, where your different parts are in the journey. All right, so here's a scale for you to use, and then you'll answer each question and then rate yourself on the scale 1 through 10. All right, boom, 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 that's there. And then of course there is the scale for you to look at afterwards, however many points, the assessment there for you. All right, and then your emotions and your inner authority, it's the same concept on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you rate yourself on these? Okay, you know, everything's spelled out for you. For me, this is a really good assessment. I hope you enjoy it. All right. Boom, we come down here. Boom, there's your assessment scale. And then here's another section to help you assess your mind. Okay, your mind and mental fortitude. And then there is your scale as well, how to assess yourself. And then there's work also. Is this in alignment with your soul moving forward? Boom, same thing, scale of 1 to 10. All right. Now, this last section, this section is I Know I Can. It goes back to the same first format where you're going to rate yourself and then write your answer in there, okay? And that's a little bit of a trick question. There are a couple of trick questions in here, so pay attention. All right, boom, points and write your answer in detail below. And there's your assessment for that, okay? So once you are done with this workbook, then you're going to have a documentation of your experience. Once you're done with the assessment, you are going to have a really good understanding of where you are in relationship with your mind, your body, your emotions, and this journey that you're on to becoming a spiritual life coach. This is going to help you know where you are inside as you start to take on this really big adventure of becoming a spiritual life coach. Okay, so I hope you enjoy that. I want to just check in since I have Monica on the line. Monica, do you have any questions about this workbook or about this assessment in general? I think I explained it pretty, and I think the instructions are pretty clear, but is there anything off the top of your head that's coming up? You're muted. Wait, you're still muted. I can't hear you.
I think I pinned you and now I don't know how to unpin you. So I cannot see myself, but can you hear me now?
I can see you, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. I cannot see myself. But no, you can tell that I've done a lot of these assessments. So I'm a queen of these assessments by now, and I give it to my clients too. So I'm
Okay,
very, very clear about it. I
okay,
know how to do it. So I don't have any questions about these assessments at
okay,
all.
cool,
Yeah.
excellent, very good, thank you. All right, so the last thing I want to do now, if you all have any questions as you're moving forward with this assessment, I want you to make sure you either put them in the questions thread for this week, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to hop over to the questions thread and see if there are any questions for me about anything that we have gone through over the course of this week. And it looks like Susan has written in and she says, "Thank you for doing this program. Excited for spiritual growth and love that you incorporate astrology. I will have to catch up Wednesday as it's my only day home." No problem, Susan. Very good. Thank you so much for your feedback. I'm glad that you are excited for this. And yeah, the astrology stuff is really, really important for me. I personally love it and need it. And it's also one of my gifts. So, you know, I believe in sharing it in a way that people can actually use it, even if they've never studied it before, like astrology for the lay person would be the way that I would want to describe it. So good. I'm glad that it's working for you. I'm glad that you are that you like it. Thank you. All right. Now, next week starts our new session, and we are going to be talking about badassery. Like, I put in, I thought it was hilarious because I was working on my on next week's uh, work curriculum, and I said, "Wait, what does badassery mean? How am I using this word? What does it even mean?" And I went to look it up, And I was really surprised to see that in the Oxford Dictionary, badassery is a real word. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. I love that. We're official. We're in the Oxford Language Dictionary. So that made me smile. And next week, we are going to be taking a deep dive in exactly what that means. And when I looked up the definition of badassery, it brought out this word that I never use. I know the meaning, but I just never use it. But it basically said something to the effect of badassery is doing things that are formidable, formidable. And I thought, holy shit, that's exactly what a badass butterfly is. That's what I mean when I call myself a badass butterfly, and when I call the people in my tribe badass butterfly, like these coaches that are coming out of my program. They have done so much work on themselves, and they have done so much work to build the programs and the systems that they are creating to help people transform, that they are formidable. These are formidable people. They are formidable. And it makes me really proud. It makes me proud to be a badass butterfly, because what I have created is formidable. It's badass. It really is. My systems, okay, both for my certification and for my personal coaching system, both of them are formidable. I've done so much work, so much research, so much in-depth, like there's so much that I bring out. It's badass and I love it. So next week, we are going to take a deep dive into what it means to be badass and how you can get you some of that if you don't have it already. Okay. So I want to make sure that that's all I need to cover. I think that's all I need to cover. And then I'm going to open this up and I can talk to Monica and let's see, I think I've gone over the home fun, I've gone over the questions thread, and that's it. That's all I need to say. So I'm going to bring Monica on. Monica, do you have a coaching question? What brings you onto the call today?
Oh my God, any opportunity to be in your aura is I'm gonna take.
Oh, that's so nice. And I love that we are twinsies today in our green, cool sweaters. I love
heart,
it.
heart color,
Yeah,
yes.
totally heart chakra.
Yeah.
Universal love.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah, it's great to see you as always, my dear friend. Always good to
Thank you.
see you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how
No,
is your week going? How are you doing with the work?
I'm doing great. I've been a little bit behind because I'm just busy with something else. But then I have been working last yesterday and today. I was working on a lot of the work you've given. I've been
Yeah.
watching. I watched your Monday video twice actually.
Oh, did you?
Uh,
Okay, good.
yeah, and I am loving it. And even during today's session, I realized that I have a lot of daily rituals which I never appreciated myself for.
Yeah.
And as I'm writing them down, I'm like, holy shit, like you are a badass, Monica.
Yeah.
You're
This
doing a
is
lot of things.
this is really important
Yeah,
because there are a lot of things that we take for granted. You know,
yeah,
there are a
yeah.
lot of things that people are doing for themselves that they don't give themselves any kind of like loving credit for. And I'm looking at them going, how do you do that? And they're like, what? And I'm like, you don't
Yeah.
recognize you got talents.
Yes, I focus a lot on the things I don't do, but I am just as I'm going through the session, I'm realizing that if I can start appreciating these, I can, I can, that's making me think that I can actually incorporate those things that I beat myself up for not doing. So
Yeah,
it's making me feel like there's more room.
yeah,
Before, I felt all over the place. But there's a whole bunch of things that I do every day and I benefit from it. And
yeah.
in your assessment, although you were scrolling down, there were a lot of 9 and 10 that I could
That you
put.
could fill in. Good,
Yeah.
good. Then you'll enjoy the assessment process very much. Good. I'm glad that you're going to do that. There are going to be a lot of people though in this program who are doing that, and they're going to find that they aren't doing so well. And the point of that assessment, it's good to be able to applaud yourself, and you should applaud and celebrate yourself. We also though want to understand that as a new life coach, you really are going to be relying on yourself to build your business, right? And it's important to understand, I personally have been supporting myself solely from my spiritual life coaching practice since day one, because I went all in like a crazy person. And I know that there are going to be quite a few of you who are going to do it that way. And I also know that there are quite a few of you that are going to have another job to help support you while you're building your business. The thing that's important regardless, and the thing that you're going to wake up to very quickly, is that your responsibility is really big. Now, if you don't have a second job to support you while you're building your coaching business, it is imperative that you don't fuck around. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. It is important that you get up every morning and you know who you are, because when you are relying on yourself to support yourself, and you don't know for sure that that money is going to keep coming in, and the rent is due, and you have to do all the other things to keep yourself going and to support yourself and your family, you need to make sure that you are someone on whom you can rely to make good decisions, to understand what needs to be done, to be able to adjust and go with the flow. For example, there's a pandemic, like, what happens when you're going along, you're thinking everything's okay, you got these plans, and then all of a sudden there is a shutdown and people aren't going to work, and your client calls you up and they're like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to afford these services, I'm going to cancel. Woo! Okay. That requires an internal sense of presence to be able to do that. Because I know a lot of people whose emotions, especially when they're relying on themselves, they don't have a job to support them. They don't have a husband to support them. They don't have parents to support them. Okay. It's them and their 4 children. Her and her 4 children that she's putting through college. Okay. And she's got some at home, she's got some at college, maybe some are young, little kids, right? Having to pay for all that extracurricular activity and stuff. Your income, you need your income you need to maintain that $8,000 a month income as a minimum, right? In order to keep your lifestyle, to keep your kids taken care of, to keep the mortgage on the house, okay? The emotions, when things go wrong, those emotions are going to rise and threaten to take away all those good feelings of, oh yeah, I'm good at this. Like, I got it together. It's when challenges come up that you have to know that you can rely on yourself and you're not going to break down. Because if you break down, then you're going to lose your momentum. And you can break down a little bit. There's room to do that. But you are the one who has to get yourself back up and keep on track so that your business continues to thrive so that you can support your family. If you're blessed enough to have maybe a life partner who's also contributing, that can give you a little bit of relaxation, but I know that that's stressful as well. I know that just because you have a life partner doesn't make it any easier. Well, it does make it easier, but it doesn't mean that you don't have any issues, certainly, right? And if your partner gets sick, or if you get sick, or the kids get sick, so many curved balls can come at you. My point is that to be a badass butterfly spiritual life coach, you need resilience. You need internal strength. You need your internal navigation system to be tops. So as you're doing this assessment, be honest with yourself. If you want to be excellent in these things, that's okay. If you're not, be honest and rate yourself for where you are so that you know where you are. Not for me. I don't need you to be a 10 or a 1. You're the one who needs you need to know where you are so that you can know what needs to be repaired so that you can be the coach that you want to be. That is my purpose for creating this assessment, and I hope you enjoy it. Monica's lucky. Monica has her shit together. She's happy. You see that smile right there? That is the smile of a glorious woman. Excellent. All right, my lovely friend. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and end this session. And I hope that if you all have any questions, please either post them here in the live stream. I did not check to see if anybody was on the Facebook call. My bad. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to navigate between Facebook and Zoom. And because for whatever reason, the Zoom is not working. Jessica is on. I'm checking here. So Jessica was on. Jessica says she's going to watch the replay. She said, JP Sears, that's exactly what that guy's name is. He's so funny. And I think he's got such a great body. He really cares about his body. And then he has his hair down and he likes to fling it around when he's imitating someone. Maybe he's imitating himself, but I think it's adorable and just really talented, funny man. Jessica says, I love you, Crystal. He doesn't make fun of them as much anymore. He's doing a lot of humanitarian stuff. I've seen this video and have 2 of his hoodies. Okay, that is very, very funny. Very good. I didn't know he had hoodies. I would wear one of those hoodies, I think. And yes, you do. Jessica, you have a lot of homework, home fun. Okay. All right. Glad you enjoyed it, darling. And yes, he is so funny. I'm glad you can relate to him as well. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Monica, I'll see you on Sunday. Soci accountability.
Yes,
Right.
I'll have so much to share this Sunday.
Oh, good. I can't wait. Oh, and there's a coaching call. She has a coaching call today. So
Yes.
I'm probably not going to be awake for that, but I might be because I haven't slept.
I think it's today. It's today, right?
Oh, actually, I think it's on right now. Monica, it's on right now. We're missing the coaching call. We can catch the last 5 minutes. I'll see you over there. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.